Det siges ofte, at dansk grammatik er nemt, men det er helt forkert. I hvert fald, hvis ikke man udelukker brugen af datid. I den her video vil jeg vise de 3 former for datid, som man kan lave på dansk. Det er en del af et bredere kursus, der alt sammen omhandler dansk grammatik, og som jeg vil linke til i beskrivelsen. Husk at like og subscribe og skriv en kommentar om, hvad I gerne vil se i næste video. Tusind tak for at se med.
There's 3 different variations, so let's look at those. So the first variation is that, as you can see here marked by 1, is that the word can end in DE. Let's say I filmed a video, would be jeg filmede en video. And here we use the soft D. Spillede is another one. We have here in the first example, han spillede fodbold is EDE, but it's really DE because we do it from the root of the word, which is spille. Spillede is a soft D. The way I make the sound, spillede, I put my tongue between my front and bottom teeth, and I say the. So if you say TH, the in English, it's kind of similar. If you have trouble doing that, then you can try to say it as an L. Jeg spillede. It's not quite the same, but it's good enough. So this is one form of past tense, which ends on DE. Other examples could be, it seemed like he was scared. Det virkede som om, at han var bange. Here, virkede ends in DE also. Seemed. Virkede som. Seemed like. And here we'll have one example of DE first. Jeg spillede fodbold, but now I hit the goal every time. Jeg ramte målet hver gang. Here, ramte. And I do the T sound just like a normal T. Jeg ramte is very different from if, let's say, the word was jeg rammede, which would be the DE. Another example of the TE ending could be jeg spiste, for I ate. Jeg spiste, I ate an apple. Jeg spiste et æble. Not, or very different rather, from, again, if it was spisede, which it is not. Spiste. And the thing with the TE, and here we also have our example here, han ramte målet hver gang, he hit the goal every time. A thing to notice is kind of that we usually delete an E from this, or we remove an E, so we can make room for the T coming in right after another consonant, meaning another letter, which is not a vowel, meaning here M, ramte, because we like this TE ending to not be after an E. Rammete sounds a little weird, so we want it to be ramte. So these are the 2 main variations, the DE and the TE, and they sound like this, the and t. The, I make it again with putting my tongue between my teeth, the. TH in English, similar. If you can't do that, just do it as an L. The third option for past tense is irregular. This means it does whatever it wants. So we don't have an ending with TE, or rather with DE or TE. It's not the or to, it's just something completely else. The example I have here is han var god, which just simply means he was good. And the present tense of var, pause the video and think, what is it? So the present tense of var is of course er. And to be, or in English also, to be is also extremely irregular. You go from to be, let's say in present tense I am, to past tense I was. It's a completely different word. The same in Danish, we have at være, which here you can kind of hear it. But then in present tense, jeg er, and in past tense, jeg var. I am, I was. Here, he was good, han var god. So we go from and instead of saying the or til, we just change it completely, and it becomes var. Now, the irregular is often marked by a change in the vowel. So in this case, it's from E to A. But in this case, we can see it also gets a totally new starting letter, which is V. Other examples of irregular verbs than just to be, because it's nice to know some others too, could be, let's think of some. It could be, so the word to receive, at få. I can just write it here. Få. Now, it's irregular, and it's a little difficult for you to guess what would it be, but I'll show you. In past tense, it's fick. So again, it just does whatever it wants. It changes completely. So in present tense, I would say jeg får, I receive. But in past tense, I would say jeg fik, I received. So it's opposed to in English, where it goes from received to received. In Danish, it's irregular, and it goes from får to fik. Now, it's better than var, if you think from a simplicity perspective, because the starting letter is still the same, F. So I guess you can still kind of tell what word it is, but this is another example. Other examples is the irregular can also be a little different, actually, than this, where it changes completely. This example is very tricky for people because it's just a little weird. I run, jeg løber, but in past tense, jeg løb. And it just stops there, jeg løb. And this is also irregular, but for a different reason than for. Here's irregular because it just removes the ending for whatever reason. Now there would be why you might say, why do we not say jeg løbede or jeg løbte? I mean, both of them are okay. Like, we could say them, but we just don't. We say jeg løb, and it's irregular. So how do you know whether a verb that you want to say is 1, 2, or 3? What I want you to do here, and this works most of the time, is that when you have a verb you want to say in past tense, ask yourself, does it sound the best if it ends with de, the, te, te, or if it's irregular? And the way to determine whether it's irregular is if 1 and 2, if they both sound incredibly stupid, then you go to 3. So like we had before, to be, the, til. I don't know if til sounds stupid, but it sounds wrong. If you know a little bit about, let's say, the Danish vocabulary, you will hear til and you will think that sounds more